Hi, everyone. Welcome again to Ivy English. I'm Bruce.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
Today we have an in-depth news report for you entitled The Global Rise in E-Cigarette Bans.
中文标题是全球电子烟反弹声浪升高，印度宣布严禁。
I'll read through the article for you, and at the end of the program we have a few reading comprehension questions to test you. Now, listen carefully, please. Dozens of countries have issued bans on electronic cigarettes in recent months, as harmful effects linked to the tobacco product have come to light. E-cigarettes initially were seen as a healthier alternative to traditional smoking, and were considered an option for those hoping to give up smoking. However, this image quickly changed after a string of hospitalizations and deaths were connected to vaping. One of the broadest bans was set by India in September 2019. In addition to banning all forms of e-cigarettes, the government made the manufacturing, importing, and selling of the product punishable by up to 3 years in prison. The news was considered a significant blow to the e-cigarette industry, given India's 260 million plus tobacco users. Many of the prohibitions in other countries have not been as extensive. A number of U.S. states have banned the sale of flavored e-cigarettes. Meanwhile, China has made it illegal for the U.S. company Juul Labs to sell its product online. There are several factors behind the vaping backlash. Worldwide, e-cigarettes are responsible for a sharp rise in teen smokers. Many believe this is due to the fun flavors, which range from mango to bubblegum to blueberry cheesecake that brands offer. The known and unknown hazards of e-cigarettes are also to blame. Because of a lack of regulations, any number of chemicals can be added to vaporizers, and some mixtures have had fatal consequences. While no one is opposed to tightening controls on the e-cigarette industry, some are worried that outright bans against vaping will only lead to an increase in cigarette smokers, a result that public health officials warn would be a terrible outcome.
So dozens of countries. A dozen is 12, and if you're saying dozens, that you're saying not just more than 12, you're saying more than 2 times 12. You're saying more than 24, at least, countries have issued bans. If you issue something, it means you send it out. And if you issue a ban, it means you're saying, okay, this ban is now in effect. You're saying no longer can this thing happen. And what are they banning? Electronic cigarettes. And this happened in recent months. So it's been happening over the past 6 months as harmful effects, as the bad things that have happened that are linked to the tobacco product, the fact that electronic cigarettes are a tobacco product, but because they're not cigarettes, people kind of forget. They think that, it's a new thing, but it's still tobacco. And these problems have come to light. If something has come to light, it's been uncovered. It's been, people are beginning to be aware of it.
OK, 这个句子一开始说 dozens of 就数打，也就是数十个数十个国家 have 他们已经 issued 就是发布 bans 就是禁令 on 在哪个方禁止什么东西呢？禁令的对象是什么呢？是 electronic cigarettes 就是电子烟所以这个 electronic 是电子的形容词那 cigarettes 就是烟，所以有数十个国家发布了禁令禁止电子烟那 in recent months 就是他们发布的时间是最近几个月。那 as 就是随着 harmful effects 就是一些有害的一些效果 results 这个 effects 你可以说是 results， 因为有一些有害的效果that are linked to 这些效果被省略了一个 that are 这些效果 被 linked to 就是 connected to 被连接到 the tobacco product 指的就是电子烟啊，这英文不喜欢重复，所以这个地方它不再讲一次电子烟，它不再讲一次 electronic cigarettes， 它用 the tobacco product 来代替。好，所以有很多的有害的结果被连接到这个这些结果是被连接到电子烟上的。那这些结果怎么样 ？Have come to light， 就是这些有害的 results have come to light。Come to light 的意思就是被披露出来 ，to become known 的意思。所以随着电子烟的一些有害的这个后果啊被揭露出来，那很多国家都开始禁止它。
E-cigarettes initially were seen as a healthier alternative to traditional smoking. So at first, or initially, when e-cigarettes first came out, people said, oh, great, here's a choice, here's an alternative not to smoke tobacco cigarettes, but to smoke e-cigarettes. They thought that should be healthier because tobacco is a major killer around the world. That's traditional smoking. And e-cigarettes were considered an option, as I said, a choice for those hoping to give up smoking. In other words, they could substitute an e-cigarette for a tobacco cigarette.
好，所以这个 e-cigarettes 就是电子烟呢 ，initially 就是 at the beginning 啊，一开始呢 were seen as 被视为 a healthier alternative to 啊，是一个比较健康的选择。那 alternative 它是一个选择，通常是在两个之间选择啊。那所以这个你要么就抽，你如果真的要抽烟的话，那就是一种就是这个原来传统的烟，一种就是电子烟。所以电子烟呢，原本被视为是一个比较健康的选择啊。那相对于什么比较健康呢 ？A healthier alternative to 这个 to 后面接的就是相对于什么？所以相对于 traditional smoking 传统的吸烟来讲，那电子烟是原本被视为比较健康，而且呢 were considered 他们也被视为是 an option for those hoping to give up smoking。对于那些想要 give up smoking 想要戒烟的人来讲呢，电子烟也被视为是个 option 啊 ，an option for someone 就是他们可以选择的东西。那 option 跟 alternative 这两个字意思很像，通常 option 是 requires careful consideration 啊，那叫做一个 option。但在这个地方，他们两个用几乎就是可以互换的字，在这一句里面。
However, this image, this clean, healthy image, quickly changed. After what? After a string of hospitalizations and deaths. If you have a string of something, it means you have like a set of frequently occurring things. So first one thing happened, then another thing happened, and then a bunch of things happened in a row. That's a string of something. And so these hospitalizations, meaning people having to go to the hospital because they were very, very sick, and deaths, needs no explanation, these were connected to vaping. Vaping is the name that people give to using an e-cigarettes. So instead of smoking, because you're breathing in smoke, in e-cigarettes you're breathing in vapor, therefore you're vaping.
哦，所以这个 vaping 这个字就是吸电子烟的意思啊。那为什么呢？因为其实电子烟他们吸的是 vapor 哈，是这个气化的东西哈，所以这个用的就创了这个字出来，专门指吸电子烟。那我们这个句子回来看他头啊，他一开始他说 however， 但是呢 this image 就是原本电子烟是个健康的选择，这个形象 quickly changed 很快就改变了。After 在什么之后就改变了呢？在 a string of 就是有一连串的 hospitalizations 就是住院的案例啊，各位注意到他这个名词加了 s， 表示它是指一个一个的住院的案例。还有 deaths 也是一样，这个 death 它加了 s， 表示一件一件的死亡，所以有一连串的住院、一连串的死亡的案例 were connected 都被连接到 vaping 吸电子烟上面，所以大家觉得这东西其实没有想象中那么安全。
Second paragraph, one of the broadest bans was set by India in September 2019. We're talking about e-cigarette bans. A broad ban will be a very wide, all-inclusive, as we'll find out the example in the next sentence, but India is leading in almost totally banning, if not completely banning, e-cigarettes.
所以 one of the broadest bans broad 这个字就是很广泛的，所以一个最广泛的禁令呢 was set 啊，这个 set 是这个ban 的动词啊，所以你可以这个 set bans on 什么事，你也可以 impose bans on， 你也可以 enforce 啊 enforce 啊 enforce a ban 都可以。好，那在这里就是说，这个最大的一个禁令呢，是由谁所设下的呢？是由印度所设下的。这个时间是2019年的9月。
So India did this pretty completely. They didn't just ban all forms of e-cigarettes. In addition, they also made the manufacturing. So in manufacturing, the importing and selling of the product punishable by up to 3 years in prison. So not only can you not own a cigarette, you're not allowed to make it, you're not allowed to bring it into the country, and you're not allowed to sell it. That pretty much covers. Basically, they're like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Well, maybe you could eat them.
But you can't own them. So how are you going to eat them?
Someone gave it to me.
You're not allowed to possess them.
Oh.
It's a complete ban. It's the total ban. It's not just the broadest. It's the only total ban.
好，所以其实基本上就是完全禁止哈。刚刚 Bruce 老师在说，那我不能制造，不能进口，不能卖，那我可以用吧，可以吃吧，不行啊。这个听这种感觉起来就是你连拥有都不对，因为拥有的话，那你在哪里买的？那卖给你的人就完蛋了啊。所以这个是几乎这个 total ban 啊。那我们来看到这个地方这个句子，我们从头开始看。那 in addition to 除了 banning 除了这个禁止 all forms of e-cigarettes 任何形式的电子烟通通禁止。除了禁止所有的电子烟之外呢 ，the government 政府 made 它也让这个 the manufacturing 让底下这几件事情啊，什么事情呢 ？manufacturing 制造 ，importing 进口 ，and selling 贩卖 of the product 就是制造、进口、贩卖这个产品啊。那政府怎么样 ？made 这些东西、这些事情 made them punishable， 让他们是可以被处罚的。被什么处罚呢 ？by up to 高达 3 years in prison。所以简单的说，某件事情 is 这个 punishable by up to 3 years in prison。就这个事情，你要处罚的话，可以处罚高达3年的这个牢狱。那在这个地方是 the government made 这些东西 punishable by up to 3 years in prison.
The news was considered a significant blow to the e-cigarette industry, given India's 260 million plus tobacco users. The news refers to this announcement by the Indian government, and the e-cigarette industry, if it's banned, the government is very concerned that these 250 million Indians who smoke, they'll continue to smoke. They won't have an option or alternative to use this slightly less harmful e-cigarettes.
It's not slightly less harmful. I just want to make this clear. I want to make this clear for all our listeners. E-cigarettes are made from tobacco, but instead of just burning the leaves of the plant and adding some chemicals, and it's the chemicals they add to cigarettes that make it more dangerous than just smoking tobacco. If you just smoke tobacco, it's bad for you, but it's okay. You go to cigarettes, it's worse for you because they add these extra chemicals which are more harmful to your health. Now they take it one step further and they refine it into a liquid that you inhale into your lungs, which is all chemicals. So there's not even any leaves anymore, but you're taking all the harmful parts of the tobacco leaf and adding other harmful chemicals and then adding some fruit flavor and then being like, hey, inhale this. So I want to emphasize that e-cigarettes are actually more dangerous than cigarettes, and cigarettes are more dangerous than tobacco. But altogether, none of this stuff is good for you.
No wonder India bans e-cigarettes.
Yeah, because it's worse.
Oh.
They're trying to get people off cigarettes, and then they're like, oh, here's a fruit-flavored thing. It's nicer, and you smell better. And it's more dangerous, but who cares about that? It's nicer, and you smell better. And the tobacco industry is like, yes, because, they successfully weaned a whole generation off of cigarettes with cigarette bans. And then they're like, okay, here's something fruit-flavored. All these teenagers are now hooked on nicotine again. It's evil.
Yeah, 所以这个地方刚刚 Angela 讲说我要跟各位讲清楚的，就是 电子烟其实还是由 tobacco 还是由这个烟草做出来的啊，但是呢，电子烟的危险是它添加了很多化学物质，尤其是它要让它变得有这个口味，所以电子烟因为这些添加的化学物质，所以它其实比香烟还要更危险啊，它这个对我们有这个危害更大。但是问题现在很多人啊，这个以为电子烟啊，那我现在不抽烟了，那我来抽电子烟，你以为它比较健康，但其实它一样对你健康有害，而且这个烟草商在背后还是一样在微笑啊，因为他们可能他可以卖出更多的烟草，才能够做出这些电子烟来。
They don't even know how dangerous it is for you.
Yeah， 那大部分的人都还不知道电子烟对他有什么样的这个影响啊。好，那我们来看到这个地方，他讲到说啊，这个消息就是印度全面禁止电子烟这个消息 was considered 被认为是一个 significant 一个重大的 blow 是打击啊，一个重大的打击。对谁来讲是重大的打击呢？对这个 e-cigarette industry 对这个电子烟业来讲是个重大的打击。那 given 就是 considering， 我们只要考虑到底下这件事情，我们就知道为什么这个对电子烟业者是一个重大打击呢？因为印度有2.6亿的这个 tobacco users， 有2.6亿的这个吸烟者，所以如果你禁了电子烟，那就是一个很大市场的损失。
So it's really a bold move on India's part because they're making the very powerful tobacco lobby angry with taking away, a $250 million market from them. And so many of the prohibitions in other countries have not been as extensive. They haven't been as brave as India. If something is extensive, it means broad or widespread or covering a whole area. So they're smaller. They're covering a smaller amount of things.Yeah,
这个 extensive 就是我们这段开头那个 broad， 在这里这两个字意思是一样的啊，就是广泛的意思。所以有很多的这个禁令啊 prohibitions in other countries， 在其他国家有很多的禁令呢 have not been 并没有像印度这样子的 as extensive， 没有像他们范围这么广。
A number of U.S. states have banned the sale of flavored e-cigarettes.A number of just means some, maybe only a few U.S. states, like India, have banned the sale of flavored e-cigarettes. It sounds as though if they're not flavored, you could still buy an e-cigarette.
Yeah, I think that's what it's saying.
Yeah, 所以他说有几个美国的州 ，a number of 就是有几个美国的州，他们禁止的是 the sale of 禁止贩售什么东西。所以各位记得。ban the sale of 就是禁止贩售什么东西，禁止贩售 flavored 就是有调味的 e-cigarettes， 所以这个因为底下我们就会讲到，它有调味，它就会加更多的化学物质进去，那这些化学物质就会对我们有害。
Yeah, but it's not just that. The flavor makes it more attractive.
Mm-hmm.
So flavored e-cigarettes are very popular among teenagers.
Yeah.
So people who originally wouldn't smoke are actually doing e-cigarettes.
Yeah.
But the unflavored ones are the ones being used by people to stop smoking. So they're hoping to help people stop smoking while preventing a whole bunch of teenagers getting hooked on smoking.
Yeah, 那除了我刚刚讲那个之外，还有一个可能是更重要的原因，是因为有调味的这些电子烟会对一些原本不吸烟的人来讲产生吸引力，所以他们禁止贩售有调味的这个电子烟呢，也可以让这个想要戒烟的人还是买得到那种没有调味的危害比较小的电子烟，那也不至于去吸引到那些原本不收烟的人啊，觉得说这味道不错，我来试试看啊，所以这个是很重要的一个决定。
Now, meanwhile, China has made it illegal for the U.S. company Juul Labs to sell its product online because Juul was one of the first e-cigarettes that became fashionable, so vaping is also called juuling in some sets. Now, it's interesting that Juul is not allowed to sell its product online, but non-name brand ones are probably A-OK to sell online in China. So that's interesting.
Yeah, 那中国呢 has made it illegal， 让这件事情是非法的啊。什么事情非法呢 ？For someone to do something， 就是这个人做这件事情是非法的。那也就是中国禁止美国公司Juul Labs， 这个是一个很大的一个电子烟的公司来卖它的产品在 online 禁止他们在网络上贩售，因为网络上贩售的话，人们就可以去买所以中国禁止。
Next paragraph. There are several factors behind the vaping backlash. factors we can think of here as there are reasons for countries or U.S. states banning vaping. Now, backlash is to do something against something. Originally, vaping was thought of, oh, this is a good thing. People will stop smoking. Then other information comes out, and now there's a backlash. States and countries are reconsidering their acceptance of vaping.
所以有几个因素啊，在什么事情之后有几个因素呢？在 vaping 就是吸电子烟，这个 backlash 就是反弹，或者是一个 a reverse reaction 啊，也可以这样解释。
Worldwide, e-cigarettes are responsible for a sharp rise in teen smokers. So originally, a whole generation of people was not doing smoking anymore, and smoking was on its way out. And then e-cigarettes came along and made it cool again. And now teens are smoking again, but it's not smoking, it's vaping.
Worldwide 就是在全世界，这个电子烟呢 are responsible for 要为什么负责呢？要为一个 a sharp rise in 就是 sharp 就是 extremely steep 就是急速的增加，在哪方面的急速增加呢？用 in 这个介系词在 teen smokers 青少年吸烟方面有造成了急速的增加。
Many believe that sharp rise, is due to the fun flavors, different tastes of your e-cigarettes, which range from, when you see range, it will mean from to, mango, bubblegum, blueberry cheesecake. You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, yeah.
That brands offer. Brands are the different companies or the different makes of a product.
好，然后呢，很多人相信这是因为 this is due to 因为 fun flavors 一些有趣的、很好玩的口味这电子烟的新口味which range from 它的范围从哪里到哪里，所以我们看到 range from 后面就一定会有一个 to 所以它从芒果to bubblegum， 还有这个泡泡糖、口香糖的味道，还有呢这个blueberry cheesecake 蓝莓起司蛋糕的口味。那这些东西怎么样 ？That 就是指这些东西 ，brands 就是 different companies offer。brands 本来是品牌，这里用来代表不同的公司，加了 s 不同的公司。
The known and unknown hazards of e-cigarettes are also to blame, which is to say that people don't really know enough about what the chemical combinations are and how they would affect the body.
Yeah, hazard 就是 possible danger 所以 known 就是我们已经知道的危险，还有 unknown 有一些我们不知道的危险就是关于电子烟我们已知或不知未知的危险呢 are also to blame 也要负点责任，我们也要怪他们他们有这种问题。
Because of a lack of regulations are laws. Any number of chemicals, there's no limit to the number of chemicals that can be added to vaporizers. Those are devices used when smoking or vaping e-cigarettes. And some mixtures of these chemicals have had fatal consequences.
They've killed people.
Exactly. Fatal means deadly, resulting in death. The result is the consequence.
Just want to mention the vaporizer is the e-cigarette. An e-cigarette is a vaporizer. It's a little tiny device that turns a liquid into a smoke for you to breathe in.
所以这 vaporizer 这个叫做雾化器但它其实就是这个电子烟最重要的一个装置，所以它们两个几乎是同一个东西那我们看到说，因为 a lack of 因为欠缺 regulations 规范或者规定，所以 any number of 就任何数量的 chemicals 化学物质都可以被加到电子烟里面去 ，can be added to vaporizers 那 and some mixtures 而且有一些混合，因为你添加各种化学物质进去之后，这个有些化学物质 A 化学物质本身可能还好，可是碰到 B 化学物质，它可能混合之后就产生了致命的后果。这里讲到 fatal 就是致命的 consequences 就是后果。
So while no one is opposed to tightening controls on the e-cigarette industry, virtually no one is like, that's a bad idea. But some people are worried that outright bans, like a complete ban against vaping, will only lead to an increase in cigarette smokers. They're worried that people who can't get their vaping fix will turn to just regular cigarettes. And this is a result that public health officials warn would be a terrible outcome, because then you'd go back to people smoking all the time. And I don't know if this would be worse than them vaping all the time. I think it's about the same. And since there's bans on smoking in so many places, it would actually help them stop vaping.
Yeah. 所以他说 while 就是一方面这个虽然呢这个没有人 is opposed to 就是反对，没有人反对 tightening 就加強 controls 控制所以 you can tighten control on something， 所以没有人会反对加强控制电子烟这个行业the e-cigarettes industry。 Some 有些人 are worried that 有些人担心说 outright 就是全面性的没有例外的 bans bans 这个禁止 against vaping 全面性没有例外的禁止电子烟呢 will only lead to 只会导致 lead to 是导致 an increase in 导致在某方面的一个增加，哪方面的增加呢 an increase in cigarette smokers 在吸烟者的数量上面的增加那同位格告诉你 a result that 这是一个结果，这个结果是 public health officials 这个公卫的这个官员公共卫生的官员 warn 他们警告这会是一个 would be a terrible outcome 就是结果后果所以这个不容易，到底怎么办呢？当然反正最好办法就是不要吸烟
We have some questions here for you. Number one of which is, which of the following positive claims has been attributed to e-cigarettes?
下列哪些正面的主张是归因于电子烟？
This positive claim is that they could be a way to quit smoking, or C.
答案是 C， 他们可能是戒烟的一种方式。
Number 2, what do you not learn about India in the passage?
在本文中你没有了解印度的什么事情？
Again, the answer is C, the most popular vaping flavors in the country.
答案是 C， 该国最受欢迎的电子烟口味。
And number 3, which of the following is closest in meaning to outright in the last paragraph?
最后一段里面哪一个选项跟 outright 的意思最接近呢？
The answer is B, complete.
答案是 B， 完全的。
Okay, that's it for today's lesson. Join us anytime